The world of Naruto and Boruto is full of extraordinary shinobi, and some of their feats and achievements will straight up blow your mind. From creating broken jutsu to earning crazy titles at ridiculously young ages, the characters in this series have set some insane records. And today, we're going to break down 40 of those records, as well as the characters who hold them. Okay, so starting with a simple one, we have Sasuke becoming the youngest Uchiha clan head at age 7, though he probably wasn't all that thrilled about that record now, was he? Nah, seriously. If we're talking about a record holder who did feel good about their title, that would definitely be Gaara. You see, Gaara is the youngest Kage in history. He became the Kazekage of the Land of Sand at just 15 years old. What makes this even crazier isn't just the fact that most Kage are chosen after decades of proving their worth to the village. It's that Gaara's road to this title is almost unbelievable. Just 3 years before becoming Kazekage, Gaara was hated and feared by everyone in his village. His bloodlust and the fact that he had the one-tailed beast sealed inside him made him an outcast. And unlike Naruto, he wasn't just disliked, he was a walking disaster who didn't hesitate to kill people. In other words, Gaara basically speedran Naruto's entire journey to acceptance and becoming Kage. Next up, we have the record for the youngest Chonin in Konoha's history, and that record belongs to the 11-year-old Shisui Uchiha. While most shinobi were struggling to make simple clones in the academy, Shisui had already achieved the highest standard shinobi rank. To put his achievement into perspective, Minato became a Jonin at 15, Kakashi at 12, and Itachi never even officially became a Jonin. No wonder Danzo considered Shisui to be the strongest Uchiha of his time. Next record, 250 million downloads and 4 million active users. What does this tell you? That Raid Shadow Legends is a game worth the hype as much as it gets. And wait for the best part, as I'll share my code with you, with which you'll get some insane rewards you won't believe are all free. First of all, the producers are going crazy right now, as they're currently gifting new users a Void Legendary Champion, Supreme Gallic, completely free of charge. And he's one of the best, if not the best, new starter Supreme Champion. This champion also makes a perfect match with Zargala. They shine in Arena, Doom Tower, and Faction Wars, quickly eliminating waves of enemies like it means nothing. And you can get both Zargala and Supreme Gallic for free. All you have to do to get these rewards is to download Raid Shadow Legends through my link in the description down below, or by scanning this QR code and enter the promo code SUPREME6. Available on iOS, Android, PC, and Mac. Raid Shadow Legends is made for everyone. And why should you download Raid Shadow Legends now of all times? Well, because now you can get the legendary champion Alice the Wanderer for free, along with a bunch of rewards simply by opening Raid on 14 different days, including Alice the Wanderer on day 7 and a 2-star perfect soul for her on day 14. Small note, you must start by March 26th to earn Alice this way. And for a limited time only, players can get their hands on the likes of Alice the Wanderer, Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, Knave of Hearts, and the fearsome Queen of Hearts, all of them for free. So what are you waiting for? Support the channel and have fun playing the game. Download Raid Shadow Legends today using my link in the description down below. And once you're in, come find me under the name Anime Aniki. Join my clan and let's become legends together. But now, let's get back to our video. But that's not all. Shisui also holds the record of possessing the strongest individual genjutsu ability, the Kodo Amatsukami. The genjutsu is truly unparalleled in the sense that it allows the user to control someone's mind without them even realizing it. To understand how powerful this is, consider the fact that it allowed Itachi to break free from Kabuto's reanimation jutsu. While the infinite Tsukuyomi is obviously the strongest genjutsu in the series, Kodo Amatsukami takes the second spot for one simple reason. You see, with other genjutsu, you eventually realize you're in a genjutsu, but with Kodo Amatsukami, you won't ever break out of it just by yourself. Moving on, we have Itachi Uchiha, who holds the record for becoming the youngest Anbu captain in Konoha's history at just 12 years old. This is just as impressive as Shisui becoming a Jonin at 11. After all, the Anbu Black Ops consistently handled even more sensitive missions than the Jonin. For example, murdering your entire clan to prevent a civil war, which, as we all know, is what Itachi did at the age of 13. Next up is Kakashi Hatake, who holds the record for graduating from the Konoha Academy at the youngest age ever. He did it at just 5 years old. For context, most potential shinobi don't even start the academy until they're 6 or 7. Kakashi then passed the Chunin exams at 6 and became a Jonin at 12. Though it makes sense why Kakashi was so impressive. After all, his father, Sakumo Hatake, was so legendary that his skills were said to surpass even those of the Sannin. Kakashi is the only non-Uchiha in history to awaken and use the Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, some fans argue that Kakashi didn't actually awaken it himself, and that it was simply Obito awakening the Mangekyo in both of their eyes at the same time. But that's not true. When Rin died, both Kakashi and Obito experienced an overwhelming sense of grief and despair, and so both of them triggered the awakening of their Mangekyo Sharingan independently. Yes, Kakashi's emotional trauma was just as significant as Obito's. So, while it's true that the Mangekyo awakened in both eyes at the same time, it wasn't just because of Obito. Moving on, we have the highest known IQ in the Naruto universe, and that title goes to my boy Shikamaru Nara. With an IQ of over 200, Shikamaru's intelligence is at a genius level. A perfect example of this is how he managed to take down Hidan, an immortal member of the Akatsuki. Speaking of Hidan, he holds the record for being the only immortal shinobi in the Naruto world. Hidan was part of a cult that worshipped the evil god Jushin, and through its ritual, he was granted true immortality. Basically, he could never be killed by normal means. This is why, even after being blown to pieces and buried alive, Hidan stayed alive underground. I mean, the fact that he wasn't reanimated during the 4th Great Ninja War implied he was still trapped underground. Though it was stated that Hidan can actually die from malnutrition, or better put, starvation. So yeah, by this point, Hidan is definitely dead now. Tsunade holds the record for having the largest chest size among all the female characters in the series. I mean, her bust is officially listed as 106 centimeters. Just ask my guy Jiraiya. He used exceptionally precise scientific methods to accurately measure that. Yeah, she does have by far the largest chest out of all the female characters in the series, but if we consider Zoro's bust, which is 110 centimeters, then I suppose we have to give this one to Zoro. Moving on to the next record, we've got the title of the strongest Haijutsu user in history, which rightfully belongs to Might Guy. During the 4th Great Ninja War, Guy used the Gate of Death and managed to overpower Madara Uchiha, even after Madara had become the 10-Tails Jinchuriki. It was so legendary that Madara himself declared Might Guy the strongest. Next, we've got the fastest shinobi in history, Minato Namikaze. Minato can canonically speed blitz his opponents using Flying Thunder God technique. It's a space-time ninjutsu that allows him to teleport instantly to any location marked with his special seal. For example, he could throw a kunai marked with the seal, and the moment it lands, he's already there. The technique is so fast that reacting to it is practically impossible. While the Flying Thunder God technique was originally created by Tobirama Senju, Minato perfected it. He made it faster, more precise, and far more effective in battle. During the 3rd Great Ninja War, Minato single-handedly wiped out an entire enemy platoon in seconds using this technique. This is what earned him the nickname Yellow Flash, because, you know, all his enemies ever saw was a flash of yellow before being defeated. Team Gaara broke the Forest of Death record during the Chunin exams. They completed the 2nd exam in just 1 hour, 37 minutes. For comparison, the previous record was 5 hours and 37 minutes, and it was held by Itachi Uchiha. Now, Itachi's record is also insane because he completed the exam solo as a 9-year-old, but Team Gaara finished the exam without taking a single scratch. Alright, how about a record held by Hashirama Senju, the god of shinobi? He's the man who holds the record for being the founder of the first ever shinobi village. He set the blueprint for all hidden villages we see in the Naruto world. Hashirama accomplished this by making peace with the Uchiha clan and uniting the neighboring clans under a single village. This union led to the creation of the Hidden Leaf Village. It was a revolutionary idea that inspired other countries to do the same. Other nations established their own hidden villages, such as the Hidden Sand, Hidden Mist, Hidden Rock, and Hidden Cloud. Just like that, the Warring States period ended, and the era of shinobi villages began. Naturally, this also means that Hashirama Senju holds the record for being the very first Kage in history. After founding the Hidden Leaf Village alongside Madara Uchiha, the time came to choose a leader of the village. Hashirama wanted Madara to take the position, but both Madara and the villagers wanted Hashirama. Hashirama became the first Hokage. This not only made him the first leader of Konoha, but also the first ever Kage in the ninja world. Next, we have Tobirama Senju, who holds the record for being the most racist character in Naruto. Nah, seriously. He holds the records for creating more jutsu than any other shinobi in history. Tobirama was an unparalleled genius who developed some of the most iconic and powerful techniques in the Naruto world. For example, he created the Impure World Reincarnation Jutsu, which allows the reanimation of the dead, the Flying Thunder God technique, which was later perfected by Minato, and the Shadow Clone Jutsu, which is pretty much the most iconic jutsu in the entire series. And that's just the beginning. Tobirama also created multiple powerful water release jutsu to counter the fire release techniques of the Uchiha clan. I mean, yeah, of course he would try to counter the Uchiha, right? Now, after Tobirama's record for creating the most jutsu, we have Kakashi Hatake, who holds the record for the most jutsu copied in history. Over the course of his career, Kakashi copied more than 1,000 different jutsu and earned himself the nickname Kakashi the Copy Ninja. Now, let's take a moment to go over a record held by everyone's favorite Sakura Haruno. During the Chunin exam's written test, Sakura was the only one to complete it without cheating. Keep in mind, the exam was designed to be so difficult that most shinobi couldn't reasonably pass without cheating. However, thanks to her massive forehead, Sakura managed to ace it entirely on her own. To add to this, she consistently received perfect scores during her time at the academy. On the other hand, Minato Namikaze holds the record for achieving the highest score in history on the written portion of the Chunin exams. However, unlike Sakura, Minato cheated. But to be fair, you were supposed to cheat in that exam. Moving on, we have Jiraiya, who holds the record for writing a bestseller in the Naruto world. He's the author of the wildly popular Icha Icha novel series. And I mean, this book series has a cult following. I mean, just look at how Kakashi carries that goofy book everywhere. The pervy sage also holds the record for completing the most missions in history. Over the course of his legendary career, Jiraiya completed 1,839 official missions, including 138 S-rank missions. With a record like that, not to mention all the royalties from the Icha Icha series, Jiraiya must have made a stupid amount of money. Too bad he spent it all on women and had to resort to stealing money from Naruto's frog wallet in order to pay for more women again. Killer B holds the unofficial title of the best rapper in the Naruto world. Doesn't matter if he's training or fighting a crazy guy like Sasuke, if inspiration hits him, B's gonna stop everything to write down those lyrics. Kisame Hoshigaki is known as the tailed beast without a tail due to his ability to rival the amount of chakra of actual tailed beasts. This was thanks to Samehada, a sentient sword that could absorb chakra from others and share it with Kisame. He could even merge with Samehada to transform into a shark-like state, where his strength and chakra reserves become comparable to that of a tailed beast. No wonder Obito had Kisame, of all people, keeping an eye on Itachi Uchiha. Moving on, Pain holds the record for destroying a hidden village with a single jutsu. Using the power of the almighty push, Pain completely obliterated the hidden leaf village in one devastating attack. This technique manipulates gravity and repels everything in its range with pure destructive force. The sheer scale of destruction caused by the single jutsu leveled the entire village. On the other hand, Madara Uchiha holds the record for executing the most destructive multi-stage attack in the series. During the 4th grade ninja war, Madara used his falling meteor technique to summon not one, but 2 massive meteors with his Rinnegan. The allied shinobi forces somehow managed to stop and deflect the first meteor, but right as they were celebrating their W, Madara summoned a second meteor. Next up, we have Kakuzu, who holds the record for the most hearts owned in the Naruto series. Kakuzu possessed 5 hearts, which he had stolen from other shinobi and implanted into his body using the forbidden jutsu Earth Grudge Fear. Thanks to this ability, Kakuzu could only be killed if all 5 of his hearts were destroyed. He had 5 lives, kind of like a video game character. Kakuzu holds another record as the oldest active shinobi in the Naruto series. At the time of his death, Kakuzu was 91 years old. From being sent on a mission to assassinate the first Hokage, to participating in 3 ninja wars, and remaining active right up until the 4th grade ninja war, Kakuzu sure as hell lived quite an interesting life. He was then reanimated for the 4th grade ninja war, which also means he's the only shinobi to participate in all 4 ninja wars. Sasuke Uchiha is the only shinobi in history to possess both the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and the Rinnegan at the same time. The Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is the final and most powerful evolution of the Sharingan, which Sasuke unlocked after transplanting Itachi's eyes into his own. Later, during the 4th grade ninja war, Sasuke received a power-up from the Sage of 6 Paths, which awakened the Rinnegan in his left eye. Not even Madara had both of these eyes at the same time. Sasuke is the only one, or should I say, was the only one. Sasuke is also the first reincarnation of Indra who breaks the curse of hatred by letting go of revenge and choosing peace. Thanks to Naruto, who never gave up on him, Sasuke realized that revenge wasn't the answer, and so, instead of continuing the cycle, he chose to atone for his sins and work towards peace as the Shadow Hokage. This meant that the cycle of hatred and the reincarnations of Indra that was running through the Uchiha clan was finally over. Moving on to Naruto, he holds the record for the most shadow clones ever created at once. During the 4th grade ninja war, Naruto created tens of thousands of clones. He used them to fight on multiple fronts, save his friends, and even take on some of the strongest enemies all at the same time. This was far beyond what anyone had ever done with the jutsu. Not even Hinata asks for that many clones at once. Another record that Naruto holds is being the Child of Prophecy. The Child of Prophecy is a legendary figure mentioned by the great Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku. The prophecy said that one day someone would appear and either save or destroy the world depending on the choices they make. At first, Jiraiya thought Minato was the Child of Prophecy. Then, Jiraiya believed it might be Nagato because of his Rinnegan. But in the end, it was actually Naruto who fulfilled the prophecy. He saved the world and finally brought true peace. Of course, Naruto being the Child of Prophecy also makes him the first to become friends with all 9 tailed beasts. The tailed beasts had been misunderstood and mistreated their entire existence. Pretty much everyone either tried to control them, use their power, or seal them away. So naturally, the tailed beasts never trusted anyone ever since the Sage of Six Paths. However, Naruto was the first to treat them like equals. He earned their trust, and ultimately, all tailed beasts unanimously told the Sage of Six Paths that Naruto is the Child of Prophecy. Boruto Uzumaki holds the record of being the first human to become a perfect Otsutsuki. This transformation happened after Kawaki killed Boruto in an attempt to kill Momoshiki Otsutsuki, who was using Boruto's body as a vessel through the Karma Seal. However, Momoshiki managed to revive Boruto by using the remaining 18% of Otsutsuki data that had yet to fully overwrite Boruto's body. Thanks to this, Momoshiki was able to avoid losing his soul, while Boruto became 100% Otsutsuki. None of the DNA in his body is human, at least not anymore. Though of course, he still has his own consciousness and personality. Now this also gives Kawaki a record of his own, because when he killed Boruto, he became the first person in Naruto and Boruto history to kill the main character. Sarada Uchiha is the first Uchiha to awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan out of love, rather than pain or loss. We know that an Uchiha awakens the Mangekyo Sharingan after experiencing a seriously traumatic event, like losing someone they love or killing someone they love. But Sarada broke this cycle. In Boruto chapter 80, when she saw Boruto's life being threatened, she was overwhelmed not by pain or despair, but by her love and determination to protect him. This triggered the awakening of her Mangekyo Sharingan. Mitsuki, on the other hand, holds the record for being the first fully synthetic human shinobi with chakra. He was created entirely from scratch in a lab by Orochimaru, but despite being a synthetic human, Mitsuki is no different from others in terms of his thoughts, emotions, and actions. He's just a chill guy, I suppose. Now, Boruto holds the record for being the quickest to learn the Rasengan. The Rasengan was originally created by Minato, and later learned by many characters like Jiraiya, Kakashi, Naruto, and Konohamaru. But here's the thing, it's really hard to learn. That's why when Boruto asked Sasuke to train him, Sasuke told him to master the Rasengan in order to get rid of him. But Boruto went to Konohamaru to learn it, and much to Sasuke's surprise, he managed to learn it in a couple of days. It was small and weak at first, but he kept improving it, and even accidentally created a new version called the Vanishing Rasengan, a Rasengan which disappears midair and catches enemies off guard. Another crazy Boruto record is that he is the first and only person we know of in the entire Naruto and Boruto series to awaken the Jogun. He did it at age 7. The Jogun literally means pure eye, and not even the Otsutsuki seem to know much about it, but they do know that it's absurdly powerful. As for what it can do, at least for now, the Jogun lets Boruto see not just the flow of chakra, but also invisible barriers or portals between dimensions. Moving on, Amado holds the title for being the most advanced scientist in the entire Naruto Boruto world. No one even comes close, not even Orochimaru. To give you a little overview of what this man has done, let me tell you that he managed to transplant the DNA of the Otsutsuki clan's god in order to grant Shinjutsu to others. His understanding of karma was so extraordinary that he could recreate Ishiki's karma to implant on Kawaki even after Ishiki's soul had been extinguished. He could create perfect clones, like how he used Jiraiya's DNA to create a clone of him at his prime and named him Kashin Koji. Amado is by far the most advanced scientist ever. Kashin Koji holds the record for being a perfect clone, as in, he is the perfect version of the one he's based on. As as we just talked about, he was created by Amado using Jiraiya's DNA. He's got all of Jiraiya's skills, abilities, and fighting style, but he also has a Shinjutsu technique called 10 Directions. It's like a Walmart version of Ilwak Almighty from Bleach, in the sense that it allows him to see all possible futures at any given moment in time. Still, Kashin Koji has his own personality and his own goals. Ida is the most irresistible girl in the entire Naruto and Boruto series. And I mean, literally, it doesn't matter who you are. As long as you're not related to her by blood or an Otsutsuki, you're gonna become obsessed with her. It's because of the modifications Amado did when creating her. Anyone who sees her face becomes enchanted by her, and because of this enchantment, no one affected by her can harm her or even say no to her commands. She's untouchable in a fight because of this. I mean, why would anyone even attack her when their first instinct is to simp? Shibai Otsutsuki holds the record for being the strongest character in the Naruto and Boruto universe. He is the god of the Otsutsuki clan and is so strong that he had to actually leave his physical body behind in order to fully realize his power. He became like this after eating countless chakra fruits harvested from planets he destroyed. He's also credited as the creator of Shinjutsu, which is the ultimate form of jutsu. It's said that ninjutsu is a mere imitation of Shinjutsu, and there's no reason to doubt that statement because we've already seen how strong Shinjutsu is. Ida, Kashin Koji, and Daemon merely inherited Shibai's DNA, and they now have 3 of the most broken abilities in the entire story. Ida can make anyone fall in love with her, and she also has the ability to see everything in the past and present, regardless of location or dimension. Kashin Koji can see all that is going to happen in any possible future, while Daemon can reflect anything back at the enemy. Keep in mind that these 3 abilities were created from Shibai's corpse. How does it feel to know that even a dead Shibai will completely fodderize your goat? Click on this video next, where we create the weakest Naruto character to have ever lived. But we can only use strong characters to do it. Go on, check it out!